Sheriff for a long time.
I can see that the forthcoming 5 years we shall progress faster than even before, because this one was interfered with by COVID.
Local leaders, including RDCs and NRM leaders, have agreed with the president on commercializing agriculture.
People should look at agriculture as a job, not only as a form of looking for food in the home, but as a job that can bring household incomes in the home.
When you grow maize, when you grow beans, when you grow coffee, there is a huge market.
Challenge of a mindset of an African, probably to all of us, is simply we take long to understand the dynamics. We settle for less, and yet we are more blessed.
It has been a collection of achievements since 1986, with economic growth registered at over 6% annually. By so doing, Uganda has transited from a land of shortage to a country of surplus, an economic environment that Museveni pledges to consolidate.
How could then the population of Uganda of 46 million people be considered enough to sustainably stimulate and absorb the enhanced products of the Ugandans that have woken from the sleep of ignorance about modern opportunities? This is the moment the Ugandans and the other Africans need to answer the question.
Museveni's swearing in is a culmination of an electoral process that took place in January 2021. The conclusion of the event, attended by foreign heads of state and other dignitaries, now leaves one task to Ugandans: talking less and working more. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Henry Okurut reporting from Kololo Independence Grounds. That's the picture of what exactly transpired there. Moving on, supporters of the National Resistance Movement in the formerly stronghold opposition district Kasese have celebrated the swearing in of President Museveni and party chairman in solidarity with the party leaders, and invited foreign dignitaries who converged at Kololo Independence Grounds in Kampala. At Mpondwe Primary School in Bukonzo West, they mounted a giant screen for the NRM fans to watch the televised broadcast of the president swearing in as president of Uganda at Kololo, though the watch had many supporters with no face masks and literally no social distancing, as many scampered to the president being sworn in.
Congestion at the function. Many other people were seen standing adjacent to their business premises, tuned on watching the swearing in of President Museveni, elect as President of Uganda for the 6th term. These expressed their happiness by congratulating the president for his 6th term in office.
Abantu ne bamwakalulu abantu babadde batukanga nga bagamba muzeeyi tagenda kulayira, naye tukyerabiddeko leero muzeeyi alayidde era tuli basanyufu nnyo, era tusaba Mukama Katonda nti n'okulayira okujja era muzeeyi addemu alayire. Security muzeeyi gy'atuwa security ennungi nnyo, okola bizinesi zo teri ajja n'akutawaanya.
Twebaza nnyo gavumenti yaffe ne pulezidenti waffe, ate tulina okusampatayizinga ne pulezidenti waffe nga bw'alayira, naffe nga bwe tuli wano tulina okulaga nti tuli wamu naye. Peace tugiyina, okiraba eddembe tulina. So kyetwandasabye okwongeramu, ayongeremu ku bakozi ng'abasomesa, abongeremuko nga ku kasente basomese abaana baffe bulungi, abadokita abasawo mu malwaliro nabo nendisabye nti nabo alabe nga bwayongeramu ku maanyi nabo bafune okulabirira abalwadde bulungi.
They say celebrations have come amidst numerous threats from their opposition counterparts who continue forcing them to cross to the opposition. In vain, the business community at Mpondwe border in western region of Uganda applauded the president for the conducive security environment they operate in. Moses Mutabali, Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC.
Clear internal rules and procedures are invaluable for parties which are seeking long-term electoral success. Procedures that regulate internal conflict that can contribute to a party's longevity, particularly if rules are transparent, well-publicized and understood by members. As incumbent President Yoweri Museveni from the ruling NRM prepares has been sworn in today for his 6th term in office, we have taken off time to make a flashback of how a journey that started almost 1 year back began, keenly focusing on how the internal democracy dynamics in the NRM party played out. Our reporter Robert Onyango, off his busy schedule and engaged with leaders within the ruling NRM on whether the NRM has still walked the talk of internal democracy within its party structures, despite the political fallouts of some historicals with the party and internal coalitions, citing limited internal democracy, as he is going to describe it.
Intra-party democracy is a matter of organizational choices and aspirations, as well as of strategy. A party's internal procedures help to define what the party stands for. As to whether the ruling NRM stands for the clear internal rules and procedures cherished as invaluables for parties which are seeking for long-term electoral success, the truth can only be reflected in the procedures that regulate internal conflict that can contribute to a party's longevity, particularly if rules are transparent, well-publicized and understood by members.
If you know you don't qualify, come and we tell you the position where qualifications are not wanted.
On 28th July 2020, the coachman of politics in the Great Lakes region, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, was nominated as the sole candidate for the mighty ruling NRM party for 2021 presidential polls, as well as a party chairmanship.
The candidate Yoweri Museveni, a president with all the powers of presidency, of a president, comes down here. The press, you were here, you covered him, pick the papers, you covered him, bring back the papers, he's duly nominated.
The biggest question here is whether the minimum set of norms that provide for a bottom-up approach to forming a decision in the party and the internal distribution of power at different levels, bodies and individuals were followed. Minimum set norms in internal party democracy refer to internal rules and procedures that give ordinary members greater influence on issues such as candidate selection, leadership selection, and policy platform.
I think the presidential candidate NRM got is the best, I have said, is the best the party has had. The presidential candidate, President Museveni now, is actually what NRM has as its best.
As to whether this was put into context, not a big deal. All we can talk about here is that it was seemingly the beginning of General Museveni's journey to reclaim the country's #1 job.
Actually, you could see, if you read his trajectory, the historical Museveni, the historical trajectory, you see that he is not a president by accident.
Although many party members had shown interest to unseat the Rwakitura villager, as he loves always to refer himself to, in the end, it was a one-man show.
And we are talking of going to issues to do with leading the party, which is a mass party. You must have certain qualities and capabilities. So when people weigh themselves and they think they are not ready to take on that, and they leave one individual to do that, then that means they themselves have. And that's why you see only one candidate came up.
The most engaging models of internal party democracy are inclusive, participatory, deliberate, responsible, and include fair distribution of power. According to Dr. Tango Doi, the logical conclusion of the NRM primaries, specifically for the position of the party chairman and subsequently the flag bearer in the general poll, portrayed a one-man show. But why a one-man show? This is a question I posed to the head of the ruling NRM Party Electoral Commission, Dr. Tango Doi, a former Makerere University controversial lecturer.
Every football team the world over has its best striker. Every credible family has its sharpshooter. If the sharpshooter is Tanga Collins, or Botanga Collins, or Botanga JJ, or Wallow Bill, or My Little Girl, those are the sharpshooters. The family chooses a sharpshooter according to what they think that shooter can deliver. And I think NRM has realized and will still maintain Yoweri Museveni.
We had 3,000 sub-county councillors who went through unopposed in this general elections. Yet this one was with even other parties. We had 8 members of parliament who went through unopposed for parliamentary, for the 11th parliament. So that means that there are people who look at themselves and see the other one is more capable. Let me give space to that one. It's not that there is no democracy, but it's being very considerate and true to yourself.
On Plot 13, Chadondo Road in Kampala, at the NRM Electoral Commission offices, General Museveni's credentials were then forwarded to Plot 10, which houses the party national secretariat.
When we received the candidate, we prepared for the official nomination because at that time we had received the official roadmap from the National Independent Electoral Commission.
All seemed to be a done deal as later General Tibuhabura's academic papers were attached with over 5 million seconding signatures on 15th October 2020, then presented to the Electoral Commission for scrutiny and endorsement. Museveni continued during the process as the EC declared him the first aspirant to fulfill all the requirements and thus chose 2nd November 2020 as a day for nominations at Kyambogo Oval Grounds in Kampala.
And he said, even when I'll go throughout the whole country, I must go back to where it all started. He said, I must start in Luwero, in Kaumu, where the victory was started, because that's where the campaigns were started. And we had a very successful campaign.
From Kyambogo, he laid down his campaign strategy, and within the next 70 days of canvassing for votes across the country, the hunter who began from Luwero Triangle this time round was again taking on the bull by its horns for yet another victory.
I don't know what is the basis for our friends who think the victory was theirs. They worked hard and got what the Electoral Commission announced. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to make them victors.
And now a man who symbolizes with a thumb, a man who doesn't forget his heart, a man who has steered the country through a yellow bus has been sworn in as the newly elected president of the Republic of Uganda for yet another term in office. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
So help me God.
American pop star Akon was also in the country to attend President Yoweri Museveni's swearing-in. Akon, who plans to build a mega city in Uganda, was here on the invite of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Our reporter caught up with him with his wife at Entebbe International Airport, where he followed the events from Kololo.
Museveni for the inauguration, and to wish him, God bless him, another successful term. Thank him for all the support he's given us here in Uganda, the hospitality, and of course the motivation for future progress and development of business, and ultimately showing our gratitude for the arms that he's welcomed us into this country, and playing also a father figure as an advisor, as a great role model. So we want to show our appreciation to come welcome him into his new terms. Greatly, of course, outside of all of everything, we want to let him know that he has our support 100%. He needs the development, Africa needs the development, and now we're coming and trying to bring in the development. So I think the mind state of the people should not even be a question of why we're here. The question should be, what can we do to help you decide or help to develop what we're trying to do in this country? So ultimately, we're just here to create a better place for Ugandans, open up opportunities, expose the opportunity, And hopefully everybody will follow suit, and let's focus more on the positive things that can be done.
Oh no, he's one of the best presidents, and also he's the godfather of Africa. When outsiders start attacking Africans and African leaders, it means they threaten, because he's Pan-Africanist and he have a power to bring Africa together, especially East African. And they just create unnecessary chaos to let his own people believe that he's not doing what he's supposed to, which is he's, you know, a great leader, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And what he does for the people.
Musician Akon with wife at Entebbe International Airport. We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a very short break. We have more for you. Please keep it with us.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay URA visit.
But you can access URA online. Why pay a visit?
To know more about the Kakasa business solutions, namely digital tracking solution, the voluntary disclosure program, and electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution, which have turned my business around. You know I need to be on top of my game to protect my empire. If you know, you know.
I too need to know what Kapo knows.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Senchu points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
The Executive Chairman, Board of Directors, Management and staff of Kira Motors Corporation congratulate General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on his inauguration as the President of the Republic of Uganda. Kira Motors celebrates His Excellency the President for the visionary leadership and ardent support towards building the indigenous motor vehicle industry in Uganda. Kira Motors Corporation is committed to building a better Uganda through automotive technology consistent with Uganda's aspirations and pathways to Vision 2040 and the NRM Manifesto 2021 to 2026. Specifically, 1. Promotion of local manufacturing of motor vehicles. 2. Establishment of an efficient, integrated, sustainable, safe and inclusive public transport system. And 3. Promotion of environmentally friendly transport solutions. Long live His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Long live the people of the Republic of Uganda. Long live Kira Motors Corporation.
Experience 100% 4G speeds across Uganda with the Airtel 4G Pocket Wi-Fi available at 123,000 shillings only. It comes with 15 GB free for 1 month. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, device selling shop or Airtel online shop. www.airtel.co.ug/broadband-discover. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries congratulates His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on your inauguration as the President of the Republic of Uganda. The ministry leadership and staff look forward to your stewardship in our mission to transform the sector from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture. Long live the President of Uganda. Long live Uganda.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay URA visit.
But you can access URA online. Why pay a visit?
To know more about the Kakasa business solutions, namely digital tracking solution, the voluntary disclosure program and electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution, which have turned my business around. You know I need to be on top of my game to protect my empire. If you know, you know.
I too need to know what Kapo knows.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Has anyone seen Bob?
Over here!
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
But you don't even have a bank account.
Well, it's not a card. It's virtual, so no plastic, and it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order a shipment.
The Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
Kapo, you seem to be in a hurry. Where are you going to?
I'm gonna pay URA visit.
But you can access URA online. Why pay a visit?
To know more about the Kakasa business solutions, namely digital tracking solution, the voluntary disclosure program and electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution, which have turned my business around. You know I need to be on top of my game to protect my empire. If you know, you know.
I too need to know what Kapo knows.
Kakasa, be sure you are in charge of your business. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Ubc News Tonight, welcome back from the break. Minister for Health Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng and State Minister in charge of General Duties Robin Nabanja have commissioned construction of a labor ward at Kasengwe Hospital in Kakumiro District. To curb high rate of maternal mortality rates in Uganda. Latest statistics indicate that maternal mortality rate has consistently been one of the highest in the world, with 440 deaths per 100,000 live births. And as our reporter Helen Bizamba reports, Ministry of Health has embarked on construction of health facilities in every sub-county and a hospital in every district to reduce on the numbers of mothers who die at health facilities while giving birth.
anyone seen Bob?
Over here!
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
But you don't even have a bank account.
Well, it's not a card. It's virtual, so no plastic. And it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order shipment.
The Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
Hundreds of Kampala residents gathered in different places to celebrate the inauguration of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for yet another term in office. As many couldn't make it to Kololo ceremonial grounds where the events happened, our reporter Helen Gizamba keenly followed the unfolding in the metropolitan area and filed this report. I beg your pardon.
Talking here, I'm very happy. Even with people from Lira, maybe I'm talking from those people from Lira. You be patient, Museveni going to work on the road.
The much-awaited date of 12th May 2021 did finally come this Wednesday.
While President Museveni was swearing in at Kololo Independence Grounds, the youth at Nachivubo Blue are just in vibrant mood, as you can see in the background. They told us the only thing they want as the president gets into his new term is to make sure that there's job creation for the Ghetto youth.
Okusanyukira wamu n'abaana ba Ghetto. Abaana ba Ghetto bano boolaba bafuuse ensonga kubeera be bamu essaawa zino wenjogerera kubalongoosa ekibuga be babeera myalabo be mulaba buli kimu ate nga nze ndi maama waabwe. Pulezidenti Museveni yasazeewo ne tusalawo okubeera wano era wetubadde ng'ali e Kololo bamutikira diguli ye ey'omukaaga.
Bulungi nnyo teri alimba yali agamba ntagenda kulayira baali bali ku byabwe guno gwali mupiira bagana kukkiriza defeat nti twabawangula naye omuzannyo bwe mugenda mu kisaawe kubaako awangula ne gwe bawangula. Tusaba batwegatteko tutwale eggwanga lyaffe mu maaso.
Ennyama tugirina, omuceere tugulina, tuli mu kusanyuka omuziki gugenda mu maaso, naye tumusaba nga tumukubiriza ti ku mulundi n'ogwokka mu kisanja kino kyokka yenyimire nnyo abavubuka ba Ghetto akole nabo emirimu. Buli mulimu gwonna bagusobola, basobola okugogola emyalo egyo gyatulabamu. Pulezidenti Museveni okulayira era tujja kuyiriza wano ekisaawe kyaffe Nakivubo settlement.
At Mini Price in the city centre of Kampala, it was the same mood as jovial dwellers congratulated President Yoweri Museveni upon his swearing in.
President buli kintu ekituuka ku Munnayuganda oba mukuumaddembe yakimutuusizzaako oba muntu mulala ng'ali mu gavumenti bo beekwasa ggwe naye si ggwe oba obibatuusizzaako. Pulezidenti jangu olaba obulumi bw'abantu wansi ku gurawundi olabe kye beetaaga. Tukakasa bw'onojja n'olaba kye beetaaga ekisanja ekiddako ogenda kiyiwansano mu mazzi.
Era tubadde masanyu mangi ng'alayira akwate ekisanja eky'omukaaga.
Here at Kololo, not only dignitaries were invited, even those in the art and culture sector were invited. The artists were on scene to witness the swearing in of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Oba oli yali wa kibiina kyo bali wa kibiina ki eno yessaawa okulaba nga ffenna bannansi twegatta tukolere wamu tutwale eggwanga lyaffe mu maaso. Zino essaawa si za byabufuzi era nnyongera okugamba ssaawa za kukolera eggwanga lyaffe. Nnyongera okugamba Honorable Kyagulanyi tikati komaweeka Museveni akulindiridde Kyagulanyi komaweeka Muzeeyi akulindiridde.
Kale okulayira kuwedde tugenda okujaganyaamu then enkya tutandike ebirala.
Abadde bagamba tajja kulayira olwaleero bakakasizza. Abadde bagamba mbu ate enkuba egenda kyankalanya. President ali so blessed.
Okulayira kuwedde amaze okuyimira ku ntebe mu butongole akalulu twakanoonya obwangu sibutuuseeko mu butongole so ssanyu girere nga yemulaba so kati ekisigadde kyakukolera abantu.
Other jubilations took place in areas of Makindye and Gaba, where many parted with drinks and eats. Reporting for ABC TV News, Helen Barbara, Jizamba.
Shortly after swearing in for his new presidential term, attended by delegations from 33 countries and 11 heads of state and government, President Yoweri Museveni urged fellow African leaders to work together and propel Africa forward. Museveni said that Uganda has the best homegrown democracy and laughed at those who preach to him good governance.
I, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear the true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda, and that I will preserve...
Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Buhaburwa has been sworn in as the President of Uganda after winning the recent elections.
So help me God.
In attendance were 11 heads of state and government delegations from 33 countries, mainly from Africa. Visiting heads of state and government included Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania, Felix Antoine Tshisekedi of Democratic Republic of Congo, Evariste Ndayishimiye of Burundi, Muhammad Abdullahi of Somalia, and Emerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe.
This is the real brotherhood. We also appreciate the delegations that came from all the other countries.
Part of Museveni's speech focused on rallying fellow counterparts to find homegrown solutions to their problems.
The security situations in Libya, Mali, Niger, some parts of Nigeria, Chad, Central African Republic, some parts of Cameroon, Eastern Congo, Somalia, recently northern Mozambique, etc., must be addressed and can be addressed.
Museveni says, like other continents, Africa needs what he described as a center of gravity. Museveni thanked fellow leaders of neighboring countries for accepting to provide market to Uganda's goods, mainly sugar exports, to Kenya, South Sudan, DR Congo, Burundi, and Tanzania.
We will produce 600,000 tons, but consume only 380,000 tons. Here nataka kushukuru Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta Samia, Her Excellency Samia ameturuhusu kuuza sukari Tanzania. Asante sana. Nataka kushukuru His Excellency Ndayishimiye, Burundi, wananunua sukari yetu. Nataka kushukuru His Excellency Tshisekedi, wanaruhusu sukari yetu Congo. Nataka kushukuru His Excellency Salva Kiir, wanaruhusu sukari yetu South Sudan na bidhaa nyingine. Otherwise, we were stuck with sugar, producing 600,000 tons, but consuming only 380,000 tons. Cement, steel bars, mitaimbwa, tires and tubes for motorcycles, textiles, ceramic tiles, coffee 7 million bags.
Legislators who attended the ceremony described Museveni's speech as spot on.
Unless the African people come together and act in concert and improve the quality of life for the inhabitants of the continent, we shan't get much, and we should not daydream and believe, lie to ourselves that anybody in this world owes us a living. Those who help us are only secondary to our own effort. So the African leaders and African countries must come together and pull their resources together and ensure that they turn the wealth of Africa into solace and comfort for their people.
In Uganda, for example, there is a lot of opportunities. We have resources. Now the oil is coming soon out. We got a lot of money from other sources, agriculture, etc. But what is the biggest problem is moral decadence, lack of honesty, non-transparency, corruption. And he did mention it. If only Ugandans can be honest, transparent, and really genuine in their service delivery, we shall come out of poverty and become a nation which is managing itself, rich, and not begging like we are doing now.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. The theme is securing the future of Uganda. And as MPs, it is our duty to ensure that we support him in this cause. And this cause is going to be achieved by two major things. One, to focus on the mindset change of our people. Even those who are farmers, they produce for income in their pockets, to educate their children and do other things, but also to make sure that the people become socially and economically transformed.
All heads of the arms of government, security chiefs, and over 4,000 invited guests attended the ceremony at Kolo Independence Grounds in Kampala. Bernard Higa, UBC News, Kololo.
Despite the day being gazetted as a national holiday in order to avoid any inconveniences to the public and to the dignitaries attending the swearing-in ceremony of President Yoweri Museveni, a section of businesses dealing in electronics remained open while other businesses were in a dilemma. But with massive deployment of security operatives in the city center and major roundabouts and junctions entering the city, many people could not take the risk of trying to access the central business district of Kampala. This led to reduced congestion in the city and low turn-up of customers, with tomorrow the 13th of May 2021 gazetted also as Eid al-Fitr national holiday. The business community in Kampala city might just have to wait a little to return to normalcy. Shops in Kampala remained closed as business came to a standstill to ensure a peaceful and calm inauguration ceremony for now sworn-in President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, for another consecutive 6th term in office. The closure of many business premises in downtown Kampala was at will, not a directive culminating from earlier reports that some opposition elements were planning to cause demonstrations and block the swearing-in of President Museveni, a matter state security actors didn't take lightly.
In the streets of Kampala, one could easily tell that the city is deserted. People could hardly be seen in the streets. But the dissertation of the central business district had an effect on the several businesses in downtown Kampala. Many of the business premises remained closed, with the presence of security armed personnel positioned in the strategic locations. Perhaps one could think that the presence of the men clad in military attires has scared away civilians from accessing town. But the government announcement was clear. It was a public holiday in observance and the grace of the swearing-in ceremony of President Yoweri Museveni for his 6th consecutive term in office as President of Uganda. People who braved to access town attributed the closure of business premises and dissertation of people from town to heavy deployment of men and women combat armed to teeth.
Shops are closed, and I think it is because people are scared of what might unfold during the swearing-in ceremony. And the heavy military presence has also scared the people.
kakati kireetera abantu baffe okutya ne baga nti oba oli awo sayidi eno wayinza okuvaayo ekizibu oba sayidi eno n'osanga nga abantu baffe bakosebwa.
While fear may be a factor, but some of the businessmen living at the outskirts of Kampala who wanted to access town were stopped by security personnel positioned in strategic locations of concerns to security operatives. Those that managed to open their shops said that they are doing so in fear, while others were forced to trade on conditions that they lock themselves inside their business premises. Many we spoke to were held in arcades and malls.
Tubalidde embeera kyekigazaawo ebizimbe ate waliwo okweraliikirira nti abantu bayinza okwekalakaasa ate nga tekiriiwo. Abantu babivaako bamuwa bululu bamulese alayire.
We did not cross because we wanted to, but because of the situation in the country. We were forced to open partly some of our shops because we have to pay rent.
We have got some fear. According to the situation which was here yesterday, the army was deployed in the city, nothing was taking place. All in all, the businesses are down.
Meanwhile, also in the outskirts of Kampala, like the area suburbs of Bwaise, the situation was not different. Business was not booming as usual.
Most of people, they are feared about the situation. Soldiers, they are passing around and they are catching borders. Now, so many people, they have not come to work.
The closure comes just a day for Muslim community to celebrate Eid al-Fitr that involves heavy shopping along the central business district. As you walk towards the streets of Kampala today, the 12th of May 2021, a day that President Museveni is swearing in, you will realize that most of the arcades here in Kampala, the central business districts, are currently closed, just like you can see here, an indication to show that the business is not as usual. Sadam Mubale, UBC News.
National Resistance Movement supporters in Kamocha Chisenyi 2 ward have asked President Yoweri Museveni to look into the desires of people living in the ghetto. This was disclosed by the LC1 chairperson Chisenyi 2 ward, Semakula Richard, while celebrating the president's victory, having been sworn in for another 5 years.
There were spontaneous celebrations across Kampala as President Yoweri Museveni was being sworn in for a fresh term in Kamocha Chisenyi 2 ward. Supporters of President Museveni jubilated with a bull roasting ritual, songs, dances and a general festive atmosphere. The occasion was curtain raised by a boxing competition of minors who exhibited their upcoming talents. The LC1 chairperson Chisenyi 2 ward said the time is now for President Museveni to look into the affairs of ghetto residents and also equip them with skills for a livelihood.
President Museveni aveeyo n'enkola ey'abantu ba wansi abakulembeze ba ghetto okubeera nga programu zonna zituka wansi. Programu ezisinga zikoma mu kkubo kalonda bafulufiga Kamocha tajjangayo tetumumanyi naye ng'ate tulina obukulembeze bw'abavubuka Kamocha kiba kirungi nnyo nakwesa obukulembeze bw'abavubuka okulaba nti programu zonna zituka ku bavubuka. Abavubuka beetaaga emirimu, abavubuka beetaaga ebintu bingi. Gavumenti yaffe erina ebitongole bingi nnyo nga KCCA n'ebitongole ebirala. Bavubuka bano balaba bakubwamu kayala naye basoma abamu.
Marjorie Gasparotti, an NRM cadre, appreciated the talent in the ghetto and asked Ugandans to put their political differences aside and work for development.
We live in diversity. When people have different ideologies and make a decision, so long as they are peaceful, the freedom is theirs to make a good choice. So my message to Ugandans and most of the people who have seen the light and find NRM a good party to join, and not only a good party but one of the progressive parties in Africa. We welcome you, and that is our aim. Our aim is to build Uganda to a higher level of progressive, institutions.
The NRM supporters in Bunga also congratulated President Museveni for another term in office and stressed the need of putting the Emyoga money at parish level to benefit residents.
Young boys and girls, all youth can be benefit with that money. We don't like those members of parliament to say that no, because the technical staff, they eat that money from the division level. Youth, this time is youth's chance. We don't want to suffer again in Kampala.
It was jubilation and ululations in Kasangati where supporters of President Museveni gathered.
Fetwagala omukulembeze wa Ghetto mu parliamenti nga si gentleman takuba bikalu oba nyaya ajinywera mu parliament ajinywera munenga tumanya atwikide ebizibu byaffe.
Supporters are optimistic that there will be massive defections of opposition members to the NRM party due to its good ideology. Sudat Kai, UBC.
Congratulations, Your Excellency, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Tibuhaburra, upon your inauguration as President of the Republic of Uganda. We at Uganda Tourism Board salute you and the people of the Pearl of Africa on this historic day. We deeply appreciate your significant role in seeking solutions to many of East Africa and Africa's political crises and keeping us all in harmony. Your global advocacy on behalf of Africa is another example of your great leadership and calling beyond Uganda.
In business, the Association of United Bus Drivers Association have also joined the rest of Ugandans to congratulate President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni upon his successful swearing-in ceremony for another term of 5 years in office as president, with a call on drivers to support social and economic transformation. This was during the press conference held at Namaiba Bus Park in Kampala.
The United Bus Drivers Association has called upon government through the Line Ministry of Works and Transport to support them socially and economically. They claim, like any other Ugandan enjoying state protection and security, they request government to back up their upcountry fleets with patrol vehicles on highways to monitor drivers who overspeed and cause accidents. However, they want the patrol vehicles to be monitored by the Association of Drivers, not police, because many of the drivers know individual colleagues who are found of overspeeding. Call was made at a press conference held at Namaiba Bus Terminal, where they converged to congratulate President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for the successful swearing-in ceremony of another 5 years.
I congratulate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for the victory of leading this country for another next 5 years. So congratulations, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and our request, our humble request as the bus drivers, we already tendered in our appointment letter into his office, and we request that you put that letter into consideration because we wish to meet you.
Tusaba nti enforcement yaffe ebe yagala ne twegatta wamu ne ministry kati okugeza abantu abadduka mu kubo omwo tuba twetaagayo n'ekidduka ekituyambako nga ffe ba bus driver ekikola patrol.
During the meeting, the Executive Secretary of the Association, Kayondo Ibrahim, commended government for the efforts to improve the roads across the country, which has enabled them to operate smoothly.
On behalf of bus drivers, really we are congratulating him and we are very happy to see that he has come back, so that this time we are also willing as a bus driver to gain, to have achievements from his effort he has made to run this country. As United Bus Drivers.
Jane Ngiramsha Fred Kasivante, UBC News.
The world of sport, Dynamic Secondary School Jeza WFC secured the second slot in Group A after overcoming King of Kings on Wednesday in their final game. Bint Ibrahim Faiza and Dafin Naluwa scored a goal apiece to guide Dynamic SS to victory. Sharon Kanyigenya got the consolation for King of Kings, her third at the tournament. King of Kings had already secured their place in the knockout phase, and the other three teams, including Dynamic SS Jeza, Luwero Giant, Queens, all had the chance to qualify ahead of Tuesday's games. The win propelled Dynamic SS to second place with 4 points, same as Luwero Giant Queens, who drew 1-1 against Asubo Gafford Ladies. Action resumed on Saturday with action from Group B that has Rhines WFC, Women's Football Club, Shi Kataka, Bunyaruguru Girls, and Town View SS Bujiri. And on the international scene, Manchester City has won a third Premier League title in 4 years after closest challengers Manchester United were beaten by Leicester City. Pep Guardiola's side are now 10 points ahead of second-placed United, who have just 3 games remaining. It is the 7th time City have finished top of the English football pyramid and the 5th in 9 years. Manager Guardiola has now won 8 domestic trophies since arriving in Manchester in 2016. City had the chance to wrap up the title themselves on Saturday, but at the Etihad Stadium. However, Leicester completed the job for them on Tuesday. And in tennis, Japanese world number 2 Naomi Osaka suffered her second straight defeat on clay by losing to Jessica Pegula in the Italian Open second round. Osaka, who received a first round bye, lost 7-6 to American world number 31 in Rome. Osaka, age 23, has often struggled on clay, and negative body language showed her discomfort against a confident Pegula.
Her second straight defeat on clay by losing to Jessica Pegula in the Italian Open second round. Osaka, who received first round bye, lost 7-6, 6-2 to the American world number 31 in Rome. Osaka has often struggled on clay, and negative body language showed her discomfort against a confident Pegula.
We thank you so much for watching. That is all we had for you tonight. As UBC, we also congratulate General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on his inauguration as president for another term of 5 years in office. On behalf of Newsroom, that is our message. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni and the whole team here. We also wish our Muslim brothers and sisters the best of the celebrations of the Eid el-Fitri, which is tomorrow. Eid Mubarak to all of you, and have a good night. Do not miss Behind the Headlines with Charles Odongto. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Here is the weather forecast from the Uganda National Meteorological Authority by Semper Alex Kim. Welcome back from the presidential swearing-in ceremony that happened in Kampala today. Thankfully, it has been a fair weather, apart from a few areas within Lake Victoria, as well as some parts of the Lake Victoria Basin that had some light isolated rainfall. But by 9 a.m. this morning, various parts of the country reported rainfall, like Kampala reported 45.8 millimeters, while Mbarara 20.6, and Entebbe reported 9 millimeters of rainfall. Now, the weather we are dealing with is mainly attributed to an incoming of moist winds right from the Atlantic Ocean through the Congo forests into a region. That is why the western part of the country is quite quite active. Well, in the morning, we do expect chances of some light isolated rainfall that will be across the Lake Victoria Basin as well as some parts of the eastern. But in the afternoon, we do expect a pickup of wet weather activities across most parts of the country, though we do expect it to be quite thundering across the western sector of the country as well as parts of the eastern. Because of this, we do expect temperatures to be relatively cool at 27 degrees centigrade. That will be across Karamoja region. For the nation's capital, Kampala, at 26, and we are forecasting at 24 degrees centigrade. That will be across Kawale Highlands. And elsewhere across the globe, we are forecasting bright and sunny conditions across Dubai as well as New York, with Dubai at a daytime high of 38 degrees centigrade, whereas London is expected to have some light isolated rainfall, but quite cold at a daytime high of only 15 degrees centigrade. With that, we wrap it up. Stay tuned and join us again tomorrow, same time.